Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking the absolutely fascinating Dasein philosophy, and we're going to see how it offers some truly profound solutions to humanity's deepest challenges. We're going to dive into some complex Eastern spiritual concepts, but don't worry. We'll break them down step by step to see exactly how this source material envisions a completely, renewed world. All right, let's look at our roadmap. We'll start with humanity's three greatest challenges, move on to the purpose of Daesun, explore Changhua and earthly paradise, Zhenghua and earthly heaven, Yanghua and earthly immortals, and finally wrap it all up with a renewed human world. Section 1. Humanity's challenges, the three greatest tasks. To really wrap our heads around these profound spiritual ideas, we first need to anchor them right here in our everyday human reality. If you ask anyone what our society desperately needs to fix right now, you usually get answers pointing to a few very specific areas, right? The source material actually asks this exact question to bridge the gap between our modern world and these ancient concepts. Think about it. Most folks would agree our biggest challenges fall into three main buckets. First, welfare. Just living comfortably without constant suffering or illness. Second, the environment. Reversing the damage we've done and actually thriving in our surroundings. And third, accomplishment, finding meaningful, fulfilling work and true value, instead of just, grinding away to survive. Section 2. The purpose of Daesun, spiritual solutions. Now, what's really fascinating here is how Daesun philosophy doesn't just toss out abstract ideas. It literally maps its core tenets directly onto those modern problems we just talked about. Our desperate need for welfare, that lines perfectly with spiritual renewal, specifically guarding against self-deception. Our environmental crisis, answered by a total renewal of the world. And that deep craving for accomplishment is met through what they call the renovation of human beings. Section 3. Changhua and paradise, the ultimate welfare. Let's tackle that first big challenge, welfare. The source material makes a really bold point. True welfare is about way more than economics or politics. It requires eliminating something called gyop-ek. Basically, that translates to deep karmic debt or calamity. It's the root cause of why we fight, why we suffer, why we fall ill, and honestly, no government social system alone can cure that kind of deep inner affliction. So, to achieve this ultimate level of welfare, the universe undergoes a massive process called Changhua, or pure transformation. Picture this as a complete, absolute clearing of all that gyop-ek across the three realms. It literally washes away the noxious, toxic energy so that misfortune and suffering just naturally stop happening. When you put our standard social systems up against this spiritual framework, you see a massive paradigm shift. Standard welfare? It just manages our survival. But ultimate welfare stems from a concept called mujagi, which means guarding against self-deception. Think about it. If you never deceive yourself and the world holds absolutely no deceit, all that heavy karmic debt is finally resolved. And the end result of this Changhua process? Humanity enters what Daesun calls the earthly paradise, or Jisung Nagwan. Because there are no more of those karmic debts to collect from each other, life becomes this state of perpetual joy, deep goodness, and the absolute highest form of welfare imaginable. Section 4. Zhenghua and Heaven, Ultimate Environment. Okay, moving on to our second challenge, the environment. Historically, nature has been a pretty harsh place of struggle and survival for us. To fix this, Daesun points to Zhenghua, which is a purifying transformation. This process totally cleanses both the physical and spiritual realms of all their harsh conditions. It's described as an automated system of perfection where everything is radiant and perfectly suited for humanity to thrive, completely removing the agonizing struggle of the past. Let me give you a great quote from the text. It says, "When you plant something once, fruit comes out every year without fail." Just think about the historical farmer working himself to the bone only for a drought to ruin everything. This philosophy envisions a utopian alternative, an environment where nature perfectly and effortlessly supports human life. It provides exactly what is needed, zero struggle required. Through Changhua, the earth itself literally transforms into the earthly heaven, or Jisung Changguk. It is no longer a place we just have to endure. It becomes this flawlessly purified, totally radiant environment where nature and humanity exist in absolute, perfect harmony. Section 5. Yanghua and Immortals, Ultimate Achievement. Finally, let's explore that third challenge, our human desire for ultimate accomplishment. Because, let's be real, just eating well and living in a beautiful place isn't enough for us. We need a purpose. We need a renovation of human beings. The source texts suggest our current physical bodies are actually quite limited. To truly hit our highest potential, we have to be transformed so we can wield incredible, heaven-appointed abilities. This ultimate renovation is called Yonghua, or Dragon Transformation, and it represents attaining the Tao. In this heightened state, humans can freely use Te'ul, which is the original creative water chi energy that birthed the entire universe. It's much like how a legendary dragon commands water to wield its immense power. I absolutely love this poetic imagery straight from the source. It says, when the dragon seeks water, it does not avoid a thicket of thorns. It's such a powerful way to show that achieving this supreme capability requires serious, unwavering dedication. Pushing through those thorns, that symbolizes the intense spiritual cultivation you need to reach the ultimate source of universal creation. And so, the ultimate accomplishment of Yang Ho Hua is the realization of earthly immortals, or Jisung Sinsen. We aren't talking about just ordinary people living in a nice place anymore. Humans are completely renovated into perfected beings of limitless capability, thriving in a perfect world. Talk about a serious upgrade, right? Section 6. A renewed human world, fulfilling potential. When we step back and bring all these incredible concepts together, the complete picture is just stunning. This framework beautifully connects our everyday, grinding struggles with welfare, the environment, and accomplishment directly to their ultimate spiritual transformations. Chonghua, Zhonghua, and Yonghua literally pave the way to these resulting utopian states, right here on Earth. By decoding these three transformations, it's pretty clear the source material promises an incredibly optimistic future. It envisions a deeply human-centered universe. The ultimate desires of humanity aren't something to be ignored or suppressed. They are perfectly, fully realized through profound spiritual and physical renovation.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a provocative thought to chew on. Is true utopia built merely by changing the physical world around us, or does it have to begin by transforming the human spirit within? Does a perfect world start with fixing the environment, or does it start by clearing our own inner karmic debt? Thank you so much for exploring these fascinating concepts with me today. Keep asking those big questions, and I'll catch you next time.